Morning, everyone, or whenever you are watching this. I just give all glory to God for being here in yet another stream. First, I like to apologize. I'm not being around. Well, out of my hands, there were holidays and I had other engagements. Unfortunately, possibility exists I won't be live for this week, but I'll see how it goes. But I'll definitely keep you in tune. If I don't come live, I'll try to upload a video. So this morning, I want to go straight into our affirmation. Go right ahead and give your affirmation. We always recommend doing 7 affirmation as we start off our day. So let's begin. You can say your own affirmation. You don't necessarily have to say the ones that I am saying, but definitely you want to say it loud and clear and strong. You want to make sure that, you know, yourself hearing you affirming all these things. I am alive. I am strong. I am powerful beyond measures. I am healthy. I am wealthy. And I am wise. I am a winner. I am protected. I am above only. I am capable of achieving all my goals, which leads me to pause and say, we have made it to our first milestone. Well, I trust when you're listening this message, my 1000 will still be up there. While I was recording, I was at 1001, and we say to God be all the glory, great things He has done. I love you. I love you. I love you, Lord, today because you care for me in such a special way. And so I praise you. I lift you up and I magnify your name. That's why my heart is filled with praise. Oh, I love you. I love you. I love you, Lord, today because you care for me in such a special way. And so I praise you. I lift you up and I magnify your name. That's why my heart is filled with praise. That's why my heart is filled with praise. And so let's jump straight into today's word and affirmation. Now, our last little conversation, we were talking about step to forgiveness. Now, just to do a little recap, but I'll also put the link in the description or in the comment section for the last stream that we did, or just go and check it out and check out some others as well as you're at it. We spoke of the first two steps to forgiveness, and today we're going to go into the other 3 steps to forgiveness. Forgiveness is such an important part of our life. And when we met, we say, when we have unforgiveness in our hearts, it can cause us to be very, very sick. And you don't want to be sick because you're having that unforgiveness in your heart. It festers and it's almost like having a cut, and you never treat the wound the right way. I think unforgiveness is like that. So if something happened, then it's like it's almost that it wasn't healed, so it hurt you again and again and again. And we did establish forgiveness is not for the person, but forgiveness is for you. So if you are saying, I'm not going to forgive him, I'm not going to forgive her, they don't deserve it, you are right. They don't deserve it. But you're hurting not them when you don't forgive, you're hurting yourself. Because the truth is, they probably moved on and forget about the situation because you are the one is hurting, not them. So we talked about two things, and we say, remember, number one, remember that you have been unconditionally forgiven. No, Jesus Christ, He forgave us for, He died on the cross for who? All of us. So He would have forgiven us. And number two, when we say you are release the offender from the debt they owe, of course, they need to pay. But all things belong to God. And we try to allow God to be the judge and the jury and everything in one. Let's not take it in our own self. So we did establish it and we went into tons of pointers and the persons were sharing. So it would be good if you go and check out. You can actually check out the chat in the live record, so you can see some of the other nuggets that different persons would have shared. And let me say, we go into for today. We'll go into the other three steps to forgiveness. So number one, and it will be probably number three of the five, accept people as they are and don't try to change them. Many times we fall in that category. Many times we fall in that trap where we're trying to change people. We do it all the time. No, according to St. Luke chapter 6, verse 37, it says, judge not, that he may not be judged. Condemn not, and he shall not be condemned. Forgive, and he shall be forgiven. Many times we want people to forgive us and we don't want to forgive others. But the Bible tells us we should forgive others, right? If we want to be forgiven. And so today, you can only change who? You can only change you. Don't try, because you won't be successful in trying to change the other person. And we do it all the time, over and over and over. We try to change person. So I'll only forgive them if they change. And we would have seen that in relationship, especially one of the biggest thing that people hold on to is infidelity. And we don't talk much about it. And many ladies, infidelity happens in the marriage and they don't talk about it, but they are hurting and they suppress it. And sometimes it can be very, very difficult to forgive the offenders, because in that case it's not just one person in the act, is two. So sometimes it is really, really difficult to forgive the offender. But again, we are required to forgive. It's not a choice, right? We should, if we want to inherit eternal life, if we want to be healthy, right? If we want to be strong, if we want to save our money from going to the doctor over and over and over, then we definitely want to make sure that we are forgiving others. So don't try to change a person. Accept people for who they are. Don't try to change them. That's number one. They just keep you tied to them, obsessing over what they did and demanding they act in ways that you approve. Nothing makes people less willing to change when you try to control them. And I'll stop here. I would have seen this over and over and over. When you try to change, you say, you want them to change to this way, you want this person to change to that way, they rebel. They rebel, and it possibly cause the hurt to be even greater. And so it's important that you understand that you leave person to who they are. Allow God to do the changing. It's not your job. Your job is to forgive. And so changing people isn't your job. Yes, I just said it. Your job is to choose to forgive and leave the outcome in God's hand. The formula of healing is forgive, let go, and let God. That is the formula. So if you realize that you are just becoming sick, you feel stressed out, you're probably losing weight, and all sorts of things might be happening, it possibly means you may have some amount of unforgiveness. I want to encourage you this morning. I want to encourage you tonight. Whenever you are listening, I want to encourage you, forgive your offender. Because at the end of the day, we were forgiven. You see, the Bible said, if we should mark iniquity, if God should mark iniquity, who will stand? None of us. We were born in sin and shapen in iniquity, and in sin did our mother conceive us. So many times we do things against the will of God, but He's not holding it over us and say, I'm not going to do this to you, I'm not going to do this to this one. He forgives us. Once we go to Him and ask for Him to forgive, He will. And number two, you see offender as God's tool for your growth. You see the offender as God's tool for your growth. And quickly, when I read this, it just jumped out at me because in every situation I have, every challenge that I have, and that I probably want to say, I'm not going to forgive, I try to say, God, what is it that you're trying to teach me here? You either win or you learn. I win or I learn. Sometimes I say, listen, I didn't do anything. So why am I supposed to feel ashamed? Why am I supposed to feel betrayed? I didn't do anything. I do as I am required. So it's important to understand that if you see the offender as God's tool for your growth, it makes the process so much easier. It's easy to forgive someone when you stop seeing them as Satan's agent to destroy you. And even as Christians, I know for Christian persons who might be listening, I mean, when some things come our way, we say, the blood of Jesus, and we start to speak in tongues, and you know the words, you know the rest, right? I would say, the devil said you come, and this, that. But if you can look at it and say, God, what are you trying to teach me in this situation? Show me. You'll be able to overcome it quicker. Now, when we look at it, look at Joseph's life. We talk about Joseph, how his brother sold him out, and he went into the pit, and then he went into the palace, then he went back to the prison, and then he went back to the palace to be second in command. Now, if he saw his brothers as, the agent of the devil, he probably would hold up unforgiveness in his heart. But he knows all things work together for good to those who are the call of God. All things. Things will not go in the way that we want it to go, but God is saying all things is going to be working out for you. So don't feel disappointed. Just say, God, give me the grace to just forgive and move on. If you're feeling betrayed, say, God, what are you trying to teach me here? Number 3 or number 5 will be try reconciling with the your offender. Always try to reconcile. Reconciliation is God's nature. And sometimes you may wonder why you're always be the one to try to reconcile. It's because you have God's nature. I personally sometimes, even in my personal life, things happen and I said, me now go say sorry this time. Every time I me have to go say sorry. Every time me have to try and make peace. Right? I've always said, I've said it over and over and over. But at the end of the day, I have God's nature in me. So it's going to be natural for me to want to seek reconciliation because I can't manage the heavy load. So it's important that you try to reconcile with your offender. When we were enemies, we were reconciled to God by the death of his son, according to Romans 5:10. And what God did for you, he wants you to do for whosoever you are at odds with. So he wants you to do the same thing for others as he did for you. He's not really asking you to die for the person, but he just said forgive them. According to Jesus made reconciliation a top priority, right? He made it a top priority. Reconciliation was a top priority for our God. If we can turn quickly to say in Matthew 5 and verse 24, what it says. As a matter of fact, let's go to 23 first. Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar, and there remembers that thy brother has aught against thee, 24, leave thy gift at the altar and go thy way. First, be reconciled to thy brother, and then come and offer your gift. So God said, leave the gift at the altar, leave it, and come to God and get reconciled. Right? Ask, Lord, I've made it right with Trina. I've made it right here. So it's important that we do leave the gift at the altar, go back, make it right, and come back. First be reconciled and then come and offer your gift. Yes, it will take selflessness and humility on your part, but the return is worth the investment. It will be worth it after all. After all this trial is over, it will be worth it after all. The return that you are going to get on this investment is going to be something else. So I encourage you today, just invest in letting go and let God. So the top 5 steps to forgiveness. Number 1, remember that you have been unconditionally forgiven. Number 2, remember the offender release the offender from the debt they owe you. Number 3, accept people as they are and not try to change them. Number four, see your offender as God's tool for your growth. And number five, try reconciling with your offender. Which one of these are your top, are your number one? Which one of these that you say, I'm definitely going to continue working at? I think one jumped out for me is number three, accept people as they are and don't try to change them. Over the years, I recognize that this is something that we have to work at, accepting people for who they are. You can't change people. Don't you dare try it. It will not work. People will change when they are ready. I guarantee you, don't try to change your spouse. You are basically pushing them away, whether it's the female pushing away the male or the male pushing away the female, vice versa. Don't try to change each other. Let's accept each other with grace and love, and eventually everything will fit together. So today, if you have some amount of unforgiveness in your heart, I'm going to encourage you, go right ahead and release the offender, because at the end of the day, you are helping your own self. God bless you today. I trust you got some nuggets to take with you. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Until next time, bye everyone.